2 letters. 1 word. The meaning of life. Yeah. Previously on Kimba TV. Yeah, for me, first place I would think about longing, settlement. I mean, I think that's a no-brainer. Maybe, yeah, so I would just go with value, so, and confluence. So value area high and settlement, and then value area low and EQ, and then that point of control is maybe the last level of support. Or, yeah. Are y'all ready? Damn, boy. How we doing? It's hella cold this morning, y'all. It's hella cold. God damn. So Guru is asking, new all-time high? Possibly. Yeah, I mean, that's unfinished. Can you guys tell? So not a good high. And then obviously RTH gap. All right, it's gonna open at 108. So I mean, it's gonna gap like this. It's gonna open here. It's gonna have another gap. Yeah, but this time we gotta be a little bit careful. Yeah, gotta be a little bit careful because your point of control is really lower. So starting to kind of lose its steam a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So it will have a gap, a bullish gap. Pascope, Lenny, what's going on? Calling Noob, Nexus, Bergex, Suzulu, Shadow Dancer, Latisse, IK3, Carlo Ancelito, what's going on? Flecka, Raul, Robin the Star, KNL, JV. Okay, Joy. All right, markets are opening in 21 minutes. You guys locked in? Can we take a look at ETH? Yeah, all it did was an SFP. Isn't that cool? So on derivatives, the high got cleaned. See it? Look at that. Goddamn! Goddamn! Even like got real close to all of the TPs. Kachaya! Yeah, and then ETH BTC, we're gonna see if this can hold. Yeah, we're almost there. We have a chance for ETH BTC to start looking bullish. So it's been quite a ride, Lions, but goddamn, if we can hold the golden pocket on ETH BTC, kachaya! Even the 7.5 really. But we want to see if this can round out. We'll see if it can round out the bottom. Kachaya! Remember, Shays, and you don't want me to say this to you more than 5 times because you become permanently ineligible for giveaways. But make sure you rewind and get caught up when you show up late. Alrighty? It's not really so much about the rewind itself, but just, you know, building good habits. Yeah, do you need a quick little recap? Obviously, we're going to have another RTH gap, right? We are going to have an RTH gap. The problem this time is that the point of control, can you see where all the point of control is? Okay. This purple session is what you want to go with, right? That's how we figure out value area high, value area low, the equilibrium, et cetera, right? So the point of control, the really meaningful one, is down here. Okay, so it's a little bit, it's starting to kind of slow down a little bit. Can you see, Shays? So this is RTH, right? And then you can see that it's at 108.070. 108,070. So the price is up here right now, which means that there's going to be another gap. All right, so can you at least understand that part so far? So you don't even need me to really break that down, correct? You don't need me to break that part down, right? So you understand that you have a gap to the downside, which means that it's a bullish gap. All right, can you understand that this is a unfinished high? That's bad. Can you see it? So you've got unfinished high and you have a bullish RTH gap. So if you put a gun to my head, Shays, what do you think that I think will happen? Or at least what is the bias? Okay, it's not as bullish as it is before, all right? But you're still gonna have things working in your favor if you're looking for like a long or if you're in a long. All right, now obviously, since that high is not good, if you were going to short, what could you possibly look for, Shays? So what I want you to kind of understand is that have you identified levels to the upside? Okay. Do you remember the levels that I gave out yesterday for CME? I'm going to be looking at 108,000. I mean, whatever this high is, 108,475 or whatever, right? And then probably like 105.6, excuse me, 109.6, right? And then 110.6. All right. Yeah. So, you know, if you're somebody that's really bearish and you're looking for like an opportunity to short, identify levels like I did, 108.6, 109.6, or 110. Right? And then when you get to that level, watch how it reacts and be patient to see some sort of edge, structural edge, open interest edge, divergence edge, etc., etc. If it does pull back, let's talk about levels to the downside now, Shays. Do you see where the settlement is? So you should be able to see overnight point of control, right? It just did a bullish retest. You got VWAP that you cannot lose, let alone get turned into resistance. And you've got settlement right here. Okay, now considering that that settlement is also super close to your value area low and daily open and all that stuff, we know that losing that would be very bearish. Okay, so you're almost kind of setting something like this up. So you can't really lose this. So some people are going to try to short the swing fail. Some people are going to wait until they can get some sort of break of VWAP and have that bitch turn into resistance. Some people are going to wait for this point of control, the real time, the regular trading hour, to be turned into resistance. So if you're somebody that's bearish and you want to short, you've got a couple ways that you could interpret it. Always make sure that you have a plan. Make sense? So that's about it, Shays. I mean, you know, if you're in a long, you know, you've got maybe some TP opportunities coming up.
My trainer, he told me.
You don't really want to be short yet, right? Because you have unfinished highs. I always talk about how if there's an unfinished high, if it's a bad high, am I in a short? No, right? So that's about it. Do you see the difference between like yesterday's failed auction structure with a good selling tail and why I was in a short versus now I'm not? Do you see the difference between this high and this high? So that's about it, Shays. Do you have any other questions for me, Shays? Let me know. I don't think it's really like time to look for scalp longs unless you really want to take the VWAP bounce. But you got to be careful because the point of control is kind of starting to lose momentum. All right, Shays, that's about it. So we got 7 minutes until market open. And then there's a lot of other cool things too kind of in play. Like for example, let's say that in the next 6 minutes and 30 seconds, it really pops, right? You could have an RTH all-time high retest again. So what I mean by that is, let's say for example, derivatives goes and makes an all-time high, right? And it opens and this is the gap. And then it does this, like this. Then it could be another, you know, that would be like a 110 type of move. Kisorek says, so while I anticipate a possible higher high, I don't want to turn winning trade into a loser. Never let a green trade go red. Yeah. So first things first, identify the level, right? Okay. What is the first structure that we like to see? Did it do a swing fail pattern? Actually, no, the 1 minute is not. We just want to keep it on the 5. Things like, is it a good high? Kisorek says, I was refreshing. I don't want to get emotionally compromised right now. But if I got pixel perfect order filled on 1.25 on MEXC, is it too early to place stop loss break even? Yes. It's up to you. But yes, so this is what you did, right? You went like this, you went like this, you went like this, you went like this. And you're telling me that you have a pixel perfect short right now, right, Kisorek? First off, congratulations. That's easy money, Bugatti money. That's easy money, Bugatti money. Now, do you know when they say you should change or you should put your stop loss at break even, my guy? This is 5 minute. Do you know when they say you should put your stop loss at break even? On structure change, correct. Now, what would be something that would make you say, fuck that, bro? What's something that would make you go, fuck that? I kind of talked about it in the very beginning, but you don't want a bullish retest of the previous high. Does that make sense? Because I don't get bullish on penetration. What do I get bullish on, my guy? So you could be thinking to yourself, dude, fuck that, stop loss break even right now, because I'm still looking at this. I'm thinking to myself, so it's up to you. The other reason why I said, is it a swing fail or not, is because what is your next structure that if it's not a swing fail that you could have? Couldn't it fail auction? So this is what you're dealing with. So with all that being said, that's why the book would say you still have to keep your stop loss here, because you could have something like this. Yeah, so until you break that low, unfortunately, you cannot. But you and I are looking at the same thing. Okay? If I were you, I would already put my stop loss at break even, but it depends. You got 1.25 pixel perfect, right? So why don't you put it at like 914 or 886 in case it does this? But that's awesome. What you really want at this point is to lose VWAP. Okay? You want to lose VWAP. And really, the bearishness would start if you lose 106,500. All right? So, Kisorek, I love it. Amazing planning. I wouldn't be super enthusiastic about putting blind limits. I mean, the math is the math, and you did it, my boy. So if this can be the third drive, lose VWAP, you're probably in good shape. I would, because if you lose the settlement, it's probably going to nuke pretty hard. Yeah, I would probably be thinking we would close that gap. So I like it. Kachuya! You see how I was in the, first off, can we give it up for the planned out ETH short? I told y'all what you think about the ETH short. Got like 10,000, 15,000 ETH short on this hoe. Easy money, Bugatti money. And this is obviously coupled with understanding ETH BTC. Can we give it up for the 2 years worth of ETH BTC? All right, and then last but not least, even though I might be in an ETH short, if there's a bad high like that, you're never gonna see me in a thang. But guess what? Ba-bink! Swing, come back inside, lose point of control, lose settlement. Are you guys ready for 102K today? 102? Oh! Ah! Let's go! Oh, Kachuya! Oh, Kachuya! Hey! No. It's gotta be testnet. It's gotta be testnet. What the fuck? Oh, quit playing with me, boy. Levels. I can't predict the future, but I think we do a pretty damn good job of identifying levels, yes or no? I can't show it. It's over. So one, I was like, I'm in the ETH short because it's an SFP, but I'm not in a Bitcoin short. I would never be in a Bitcoin short if the high looks like that, right? For better or for worse, right or wrong, right? In the trade or missed out. But I've never been in a short when there's an obvious CME bad high. We knew that you're looking for some sort of swing fail or just any sort of good high to be left behind, right? And can we give it up to be able to understand that the point of controls were now lower, right? I hope I saved a lot of people from top longing when I said, hey, it's a little bit different now. The volume and the point of control is lower, right? And so like the momentum is slowing down. Give it up for that. And we talked about, what were the three things that we talked about? You could get a swing fail, you could get a bearish retest of the VWAP, or you could get a bearish retest of this. Yeah, so not too shabby. I mean, and you know what the thing that makes me the fucking happiest? I don't have the 1.25 short. Some of y'all do. Dude, you guys have a better short entry than I do. Like, because I did the normal shit that I always do. I take it here when it goes back down, right? You guys have short entries here better than me? Dude. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. You know how proud that makes me? How many of you guys been able to follow along the whole sort of, narrative, ladies and gentlemen? The first part was the preparation, right? Understanding, hey man, that's bad. That's gonna get cleaned. So there's no way that I'm shorting until that gets cleaned. Anticipating structure, right? Closing below that again. Understanding that, if it is actually going to be bullish, you got to hold the VWAP just like it did before. You definitely don't want to turn it into resistance. How many of y'all were here when we were talking about, hey, the point of control is below the price action. It might actually be losing bullish momentum. Making sure that we don't get got and short, settlement or daily open or value area low. How many of y'all were here when we were talking about homie was like, yo, the golden pocket got turned into resistance, haha. And I said, yeah, but mathematical levels don't really mean much in these sectors. You got to be watching that VWAP. So do you see how the point of control is moving? Because it's session based, obviously. Building value above the previous cluster is a good sign. So trying to build value on top, It would be really bullish and probably not worth a short if they end up closing the session with point of control higher than the previous, because then it's clear that we're moving up. Karkaju says shorting risk reward better than longing right now, I guess. Yeah, and I mean, like, Karkaju, my longs are not going to be touched until we get to like end of next year, right? So I don't have to necessarily think about trying to scalp a long because I already put in the time and effort and have really nice longs that I can hold on to. Just like how I'm trying to replicate that same strategy with altcoins, right? I think shorting is actually a little bit riskier. The Bitcoin long, like I probably wouldn't really think about a Bitcoin long until 100K or 90 or 82. You know, just because we already have from like 60s and 70s, you know. Shorts are fine, but I would, you know, make sure that you don't lose money. Yeah, and I'm really just trying to get into altcoin longs. Yeah. Sophia says, still, it's crazy to think that institutions still buying on this level. Sophia, are they? You should be able to tell me the cash inflow for CME for today, yesterday, Friday last week, Thursday, Wednesday. And make sure you type exclamation rewind and get caught up to the TA that we did. Okay, as long as you're seeing the data and you know for yourself instead of just kind of guessing or regurgitating something that somebody else said, right? You got to know what you're doing in this game or you're going to get wrecked. You see how yesterday's session value is what we set today, which means tomorrow the value is going to be here and here. And then it's the value. So this isn't concrete yet, but whenever it closes for when it settles, the value area high right now is there, value area low. And so tomorrow we're going to move the T-val here or wherever that is. And then we're going to move the T-va there or wherever that is. Makes sense, right? Bugatti juice. So what were the couple of things that we started with? We were talking about, we identified the levels. We identified the bad high. We had the level identified. We're in stop loss. This got real close, but thank God at Fibonacci. Shout outs to how many, who was the guy that got in right here? Kasoric? Who was the one that got in? Pixel Perfect 1.25. Give it up for the 1.25. Prep players. Give it up for the 1.25 pixel enjoyers. Let's go. Better entry than me. Akachoya. We talked about a swing failed auction. Yes. Rotated all the way down from value. All the way back down to value, daily open, settlement. Settlement was really, really important. It held. You had no 30-minute candle closes below settlement. Damn, boy. So, and then you had a bullish structure, rounded bottom, nice. And then you had some clean, nice little business setups. So, and then VWAP. Continuing to guide, continuing to talk the narrative. Yeah. So lots of bing bong ding dong today. The ETH short wasn't as stressful because ETH BTC. Yeah, and then everybody's good to go on ETH BTC and what we're waiting for. Shout out to motherfuckers that have been watching ETH BTC with me for like 2 years. Crazy. So yeah, it'll be pretty interesting where this can bounce, right? We're looking for a rounded bottom. All right, shout outs to Soul. Shout outs to Soul, Bugatti juice on the Soul. And yeah, we're just waiting for We're waiting for 30-minute candle close or pullbacks to get into some altcoin longs. And how many of y'all were here for the on Peanut Pixel? How many of y'all were here for the alarm on the on the Peanut Pixel exclamation Pixel? It's got to be testnet. That's it. But there's still a lot of these that could have some big pullbacks. So maybe whiff is the next one. Yeah. Yeah, this one still has a lot. There's a lot of these, right, that have the anchored VWAP way down there. So this could be interesting. Oh, wait, stop the music. Wait. Can we go over the levels one more time? Sure. Shay's Anatomy for CME, okay? For CME. This is ETH, by the way. To the upside, like 108. Well, remember we said 108.6. The all-time high is at 108.9, okay? But beyond that, you're looking at like 109.6 or whatever, and then 110 basically. And then from there, 120. Now to the downside, you got 102.3, okay? We moved the settlement, okay? We moved the settlement, alrighty? So if it starts to go, I mean, it's going to trigger a pretty big thangity-thang. So for me, brother, if you make a lower low, aside from like a swing fail and you get right back inside, if you're heading down, I would be looking at the gap fill. And coincidentally, that's your untapped naked point of control. So 102.3, roger that. And then 101, right around here, like 101, 300. And then after that, 99K. I'm talking about this shit. So that. All right, but that's probably my first area where I would think about maybe I should long, but probably not, man. So level by level, yes. But Shays, have you been here since the morning? Shays, if you missed anything from the morning, it would really be dope if you exclamation rewind. We started the morning off. Yes, sir. Awesome. So, right, like we started the morning off and I was very clear about, okay, now the point of control is starting to build value below the price. And so you were starting to lose a little bit of steam, right? We identified the bad high. A lot of you guys were looking at the 3 drives structure. Some of y'all did the 1.25 and got pixel perfect short. My goodness, congratulations to you all. I did a little bit more conservative, waited for the range to get broken back in, value, rotate. Luckily, we didn't get stopped out. My goodness. All right, still could. All right, we got live filled on a peanut long. That was pretty dope, ladies and gentlemen. But we got live filled on peanut long. But hopefully you guys were exclamation prepared. So even when the alarm did go off, you knew exactly what I was going to be looking at. And if you wanted to tag along, you could. Stop loss at break even on that hoe as well. So interestingly enough, a couple of altcoin longs live filled and added into our library of longs. But also Bitcoin short and ETH short. All right. A lot of these, if you've been paying attention, I mean, think about when we were talking about the swing fail of ETH. And then look at this motherfucker, boy. You guys remember when we were looking at this? Look at where it went to. So the Burj Khalifa on the ETH liquidation, okay? 3870, 3860 is the base, okay? 3885 it wicked to. Bank. I need to double check actually, but I know I had him below this. So I gotta see. I think in total, if it makes a lower low, because obviously this is a weak, poor low now. I want all of this to get taken, but assuming that this gets cleaned one more time, that'll be 25% of the short closed. All right, Chris says ETH long now. It wouldn't be wrong to do it, but again, those lows are bad. And remember, Chris, me personally, I've already made my bed. I already have my bet placed for tomorrow. Remember when we were talking about it would be really funny if the rate cut does come in, but Bitcoin and ETH, maybe they pull back a little bit. Maybe some altcoins go nuts, right? Which is why we got into some of these longs that were presentable today, right? But remember when we talked about how when we do get an actual rate cut, we might nuke? So yeah, I've already placed my bet. I don't know exactly how much I TP'd here, but assuming that it didn't make a lower low on MEXC and Kraken, it's probably not that much. Based off of this 886 reaction, assuming that this 30-minute candle close stays above 886, what are some things that I would prefer that it did not do as a shorter? If you are longing, brother, what are some things that you would want it to be able to do? And that kind of breakdown, that kind of thought process, and not being stubborn and not being, crazy with it. Remember, however way you traded today and yesterday, probably going to be how you're going to trade tomorrow. So hopefully it was filled with good risk management, objectivity, preparation. You know what to do. All right. Sariola says, got my ETH bids filled. Okay. I see you. Well, look, bulls, for all of you, for those of you that longed ETH, for example, you know what you got to do, right? Right? You know what you got to do? Do you guys already have your anchor VWAP from the top pulled? You got a long ways to go. You got a long ways to go. So you got to work your way back up. You need to turn 7.5 into support. Then you got to break above the golden pocket. Luckily, you've got some unfinished business up there, but that selling tail in SFP is pretty nice. But yeah, let's see if because if ETH has a little bit of a big pullback, it's basically going to help all the other ones that need a big pullback do its thing too. And then that means that we're really going to get some interesting, amazing opportunities to get into altcoin longs. So any of these will do, whether it's this one or this one. But let's see. And if you're a scalper, you probably have it like this. This one. Ooh. Kachoi Shibaya. Yeah, so start by claiming that, and then that's probably going to get cleaned, yeah? But you don't want like a diss. Yeah. And then for me, I'll be watching to see if they clean that. But I want all that. I want everything cleaned. Yeah. And obviously, it's going to depend on S&P, and it's going to depend on Biddy, y'all. You guys excited for FOMC tomorrow? Kachoya! And I hope you guys realize that you cannot predict the future because you don't know if they're going to do some goofy ass shit like this. You know what I mean? So it's always good to feel empowered to be able to read the data and then adjust accordingly. You know, this kind of stuff should make you be a little bit more conservative when it comes to your stop loss and profit. If you haven't moved your, let's say that you're in a short right now, And if you haven't moved your stop loss a little bit closer down to get more profits, after seeing bottom shorts like that come in, you're doing it wrong. And you're not, I don't know what you're doing, but you got to be objective and adjust to the data accordingly. So you guys, what the fuck? He giving too much alpha, Youngstoon. Restart. There you go, Nord TV. And if you are, if you were thinking about, let's say that you were gonna long ETH on like a swing fail, you know what I mean? It might give you strength or confidence or confluence to market smash once you see the VWAP get actually flipped up as support. You see the 30-minute candle close above VWAP. It might give you strength to market smash their stop loss right there because you have something like this. It might give you that extra oomph to maybe say fuck it. Lions, you guys are the fucking best, y'all. I'll be here early tomorrow. Juicy. Hoo-Ju-Shin. Hoo-Ju-Shin. Exclamation Discord, exclamation VIP, exclamation giveaway. Be ready, y'all. Chat. Let's go. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. All right, Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss. Tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss, Sato. He said he's gonna smack the shit out of you.